sat through my first meeting with our whole group, and I'm sitting here with my pen and I'm ready to take notes and learn. And then all of a sudden, everybody started speaking in some language I didn't know. And I'm like, what is happening? What are people saying? And they're acronyms. We'll get to an acronym list.
GovCon has a language of its own. Acronyms, compliance, contracting. And when you're new, well, it can feel a little bit like alphabet soup.
And let's be real, no one hands you a decoder ring. We're your hosts, Aimee Dalton and Camille Tutti, and we're here to get real about how people actually break in, level up, and lead in government contracting.
Because not everyone grows up dreaming about government contracts. Some people start out with nothing more than a spiral notebook and hope.
Today's guest has been with her company for 22 years, building her career in leadership in GovCon with a focus on national security.
But those early years were spent wondering, what am I doing at this company? What is my job? I just don't understand. And even after promotions, she thought, I can't do this job. I'm not prepared, only to realize a week later, oh wait, she was actually great at it.
And that mix of imposter syndrome, mentorship, and lifelong learning is what shaped her 22-year career in national security, and what she now shares with the next generation coming up in GovCon.
Great, let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rookies to Rockstars, a short, sharp series where we ask bold, smart people one thing. What do you know now that you wish someone had told you at the start?
We're your hosts, Aimee Dalton and Camille Tutti, and today's guest is Aimee Dalton, Chief of Staff to the President and SBA, or as we like to call it, the person who knows where all the bodies are buried. Organizationally speaking, of course.
100%.
So Amy's career is the real deal. She's worked across national security, missile programs, Navy systems, international defense, and now she's the chief of staff, which basically means if the building is on fire, she already has a plan.
100%.
So, Aimee, let's rewind a bit. So you're just starting out. What's one thing you wish someone had told you back when your most powerful tool was pretty much a spiral notebook and hope?
I like that. First of all, thank you for having me. It was really great to think about these questions and reflect on them because no one told me anything in the beginning. And I was telling you earlier, I just talked to the interns a couple of weeks ago, and I really did kind of prep for this by talking to them about all of the things that I wish I knew when I started out. One of the most important things for me is to look for something you're passionate about. I've been with this company for 22 years because I'm passionate about what we do, national security. Some people find that boring, but I find it very exciting. I wake up every morning and I think, wow, I'm really contributing to the national security of this country. And I love that. If you find something that fulfills you, you never will have to work a day in your life, which, I mean, that's not true. We all work, but you really enjoy your work. And the other thing that I really think is important is networking. You should start networking the day you walk into the door of whatever it is, your company, your new job, your school. Networking, meeting people, because that's who will help you along the way. Mentors are so important, and you need them for reasons, not just, oh, I like this person, so I'm going to sit down and chat with them. Mentors that support you, mentors that advocate for you, mentors that point you in the right direction, and mentors that show you all the choices that you may not see that you have to get you along your career path. So I think those are the most important things. If someone would have told me any of that stuff in the beginning, I would not have been bumbling around, wondering, what am I doing at this company? What is my job? I don't understand. Everything isn't clear. It's something that's really important and something I try to tell all of my mentees when I'm talking to them.
You talk about like bumbling around and you wish that you had someone who could guide you. But was there a moment early in your career when you realized, oh, this is how you actually move up? What clicked for you?
Absolutely not. I still feel like I'm playing around. Like, every time that I received a promotion at work, I was like, I can't do this job. I'm not prepared for this. I have no clue what I'm doing. Why did they think I could have this job? And then about a weekend, I'm like, oh my God, I know how to do this job. I'm really good at this. I know why I have this job. But it's that confidence, right? And I think that's something that everyone lacks at times in their lives. To have the confidence to know you've trained for this, you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know how to be X or Y or Z. It's that confidence. And I think it's very important that you are always, as a person, trying to increase your skill sets, whether it's going to a professional development class or going to a technical class or talking to a mentor. All of those should be lifelong learning. I really, really think that lifelong learning is very important. I'm going to a training class in 2 weeks on executive planning and all of that fun stuff. So I just think it's really important that you continue to lifelong learn.
Amanda and I talk with a lot of people who talk about what you just mentioned, imposter syndrome. So, what did you do to overcome that? Bosher therapy it through and just expose yourself to new things? And did you just do it like Nike? Just do it. Or what did you do to overcome that?
So I say this one all the time,
Mhm.
fake it till you make it. I just went in and did it. And what I did was, and I'll talk about one of my challenges when I became a division director overseeing, hundreds of employees, and I was much younger than all the other division directors. I had no military background. I'd basically gone into the president's office and told him that I wanted the job and why would you give it to anyone else? And I was really bold about it. I almost wound up yelling at
Mhm.
him. And he's like, "Do you really want this job? Can you really do this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I want this job." And we went around and he did give me the job. So now I'm walking into this room and I'm like, okay, there's so much to unpack here. And I just took one piece at a time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to schedule this meeting with this person. And then I'm going to schedule this meeting. And we're going to sit
Mm.
down and we're talk about this. And we're going to talk about this. And then I'm going to get rid of these meetings. And I'm going to do this. And then it was just one thing at a time. And I thought, man, it's going to take me years to learn this job. And then I'm like, a weekend, I'm like, it's going to take me 6 months to learn this job. And then I'm like, "Ugh." Then 2 weeks in, I'm like, I can write this ship in a month. And I did. Right? It was
2 weeks in, you're like, I'm awesome. I can lead the whole division.
Part of it was my training and my background, and part of it is intuitive. I have a degree in marketing and an MBA in finance. I have 7 years of training on how to do management, right? We're a defense company. A lot of people in this company don't have any training on how to manage, and they wind up fumbling along and eventually learning how to do it or saying, no, management is not for me. I want to go back to being technical. So I
Mhm.
had the skill sets and the drive. And I had learned over time how to manage bigger and bigger organizations. And as we've grown as a company, now I'm learning how to do all the chief of staffy things, which I really do enjoy being the chief of staff here. I get to have my hands in every little pot. And you mentioned about the building burning down. Mostly, I treat myself as a firefighter. I'm here, I'm waiting. Like, I could be talking to you right now, and my boss could come in and be like, the so and so is on fire, go downstairs and fix whatever that is. So I really enjoy fixing problems. I've always enjoyed it. I've always loved those challenges. I've taken several jobs over my life where I've walked into mass chaos and created something exciting and calm and efficient. I like efficiency. So this is like the perfect job for me. This is tailored for my personality to be so efficient and so effective. And then I get to sit back and see, oh, look how smooth that runs.
How do you manage
Amazing.
that pressure? That's a lot of pressure, it feels like.
I don't feel like it's pressure. I feel like it's fun.
What?
It's like a puzzle, right? When he comes to me and says, "Ooh, you need to fix X, Y, and Z," I think, okay, I'm not actually going to fix X, Y, and Z. I'm going to get the right people in the room to fix X,
Mhm.
Y, and Z. So I'm like, who do I need? What department do I need? What different departments? Okay, so then I go grab all of these people that I think are the right people, and you have to have the right personality too. You just can't grab somebody from HR and somebody from IT and somebody from finance. You get to get the right people with the right
Mhm.
skill set and the right personality. And then you put them in the room and you explain to them why we're in the room, and then you let them go at it and you mediate. And make sure you follow up and make sure all the actions are getting done. Everybody's doing their jobs, and then it's miraculously fixed. So it's very fun.
A certain
Yeah.
type of brain for that. Mhm.
You do. You have to have a certain type of personality. You have to have a certain type of brain. The president always has he has a lot of great sayings, but one of them is leadership is a relationship of influence. So I'm the chief of staff. I have no direct reports. I have 2,200 people that technically belong in my little wheelhouse, right? And you could even say I have 3,000 because all of the other functionals are over here. They have their own reports. but like the operations team all reports up through the president. All of these little buckets of people are people that I have to convince to come to my meeting and do all my actions and fix all my problems at a company level. And I have to influence that without having any authority over any of them.
Aimee, you don't seem like the type of person who's afraid to speak up, but what do you do when you're the least experienced in the room, the youngest and the least experienced? What advice do you have for that woman or for that man?
So I think it's very important, if you are the youngest and least experienced, not to be intimidated by that, but listen very carefully. And if you have value to add, speak up. No one in the room should shush you because you're younger, because you're a female, because you're a minority. If you're adding value, you should insert yourself into the conversation. Now, don't speak just to speak. Add value. That's the most important. Always speak up. And we're encouraged here. Our company encourages us to speak up no matter your age, no matter if you've been in the military or not. We really celebrate diversity of thought. We want to get someone that has a military background, somebody that has a technical background, somebody that has a non-technical background to get in and solve our customers' problems. Because that way you get, oh, the military guy says, that's great, but the government won't be able to execute that. Or you get the non-military person saying, nobody is going to want to do that. That's way too military hierarchy. So those conversations flow, and we really do try to celebrate that here and push that.
After 20, plus years supporting the DoD, it's clear to see today. But considering your experience leading high stakes programs, supporting allied forces, tackling real world threats, how did you build that credibility in a room full of experts up to today?
Part of it was time. Going into meetings when I was a junior analyst. I started here. I walked in the door as an entry level financial analyst with a newly minted MBA and no experience in DoD or government contracting at all. I was a baby. I didn't know anything. Right. I sat through my first meeting with our whole group, and I'm sitting here with my pen and I'm ready to take notes and learn. And then all of a sudden, everybody started speaking in some language I didn't know. And I'm like, what is happening? What are people saying? And their acronyms. We'll get to an acronym list. Like, they didn't speak English. Like, what's happening? So I had a lot to learn. I spent like my formative years here learning, and I had bosses that were willing to teach me how to do things, but also to listen to me when I had ideas on how we could do something differently. And he would throw me in front of the clients all of the time. He would come to my office on a Wednesday at noon and he said, "What are you doing today?" And I'm like, "Well, I have these 3 spreadsheets. They're not due till Friday. I want you to go down to the client site and I want you to go talk to all the clients and see what they want and how they're doing and make sure they know who you are and seeing your face." So it was that networking that really got me to know my clients and understand my clients. And also when I worked with them, I impressed them with the products that we were delivering them, the words that were coming out of my mouth. And eventually, if you hang around an organization long enough, those people that were like the lieutenant become the admiral. So you kind of get clout over time, but also you get clout from the products that you deliver and the things that you tell them.
Makes sense. I'm kind of like picturing you as like Olivia Pope right now. Like you're the fixer.
Yes.
The strategist, the person people turn to when they have a 6-week problem and have a 2-day deadline. So
Correct.
I know you mentioned it's fun and you're able to kind of put the puzzle pieces together, but how do you keep your cool? Keep things moving? What if you have 3 problems at once? How are you staying calm and figuring it out?
I'm a very good delegator. I kid you not. I delegate a lot. Yet there are times, and I was taught this when I became the chief of staff. The president said to me, "If I ever see you making a PowerPoint or doing a spreadsheet, I'm going to fire you. That's not what your job is. Your job is to coordinate that. You should never be in your office banging away on your laptop because it's not an efficient use of your time and it's not your job anymore." And that's something very hard. And I talk to newly minted managers or newly minted assistant managers that are moving their way through the company, and they're trying to do what I call real work. They're trying to support a client, by producing product. And I'm like, you have to delegate this to the people that work for you. That's what they're there for. They're like, but I feel like I'm not really doing something if these people are doing all the work. I said, your work is to manage those people. And it's very hard for people to let go of that. I didn't really have a problem letting go of that because I enjoyed managing people. I really like being around people. I loved seeing people become successful. Like I love being able to teach and manage and show people my management style and them to take pieces that they like of my management style and then become successful on their own. It's one of my whys is making people successful.
I have a follow-up from earlier when you mentioned marketing. What was your dream job as a child? We always like to talk about that. And then how did your career kind of progress to being where it is right now?
So my dream job as a child was to be a librarian, and I have no clue why I didn't do that. My dream job when I retire is to volunteer at the library if they still
Hmm,
exist, right?
I love
And
that. Yeah.
yes, but when I was in high school, I was very interested in the sciences and the maths. I did not like anything close to writing. I'm still a terrible writer. Everybody makes fun of me about that, but I cannot write or spell. My husband's like, God, how do you even start with this, Aimee? When I show him something I've written. But I was really attracted to the sciences and I went to school to become a marine biologist. And I took a bunch of biology classes and I'm like, I hate this. And my dad's like, just get a business degree if you don't know what you want to do. So that's what I did. I'm like, oh, marketing sounds fun. That's sales. I think that would be a fun job. So I got a degree in marketing. And at the time, I was working part time at a movie theater. And I wound up working at the movie theater for a very long time doing auditing and managing people. And then wound up doing auditing. And then they got sold. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to go find something else in the DC area. I answered an ad in the Washington Post. It was online, it wasn't actually the physical post. And I walked in the door to SPA to interview, and the rest is history. Like the interview went really well, it went long. And he basically told me at the end of the interview that I had the job, which was great. And he
Amazing.
formally offered
Wow,
it to me later. And that was the beginning. I'm like, finance, and then, but I was getting my MBA at the time when I was doing the auditing stuff because I definitely thought that would help my career in some way. But I really didn't have a path. I never thought when I was getting my business degree, oh, I'm going to be the chief of staff at a defense firm, right? My dad's like, go in defense contracting. It's stable, or get a government job. It's stable. Like he was always pushing me. And he's right. It's very stable, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, usually. Maybe not today. We'll take that out.
Right.
One thing that we love to talk about is the most mortifying, embarrassing mistakes we did early in our career. And some
Oh,
guests have talked about their screw ups, and they've been pretty bad. So, what's yours?
oh, let me think about that one. Mortifying mistake. Oof.
Yeah.
Make the next generation feel better about something they might slip up and do.
I don't make a lot of mistakes, but
That is why you are in the position you're in. That
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're chief of staff.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever done anything mortifying in my career. I will say I have had stumbles, right? Missteps. And I will not go on and on to tell you how this wasn't my fault, but I was basically the capture manager for a proposal that the government had put out that was for work that we had, but we were moving contracts and they wanted to make it competitive. And I was told by senior leadership at this company at the time, Aimee, you want to become a vice president. You've asked me this several times. Win this contract. You're going to be a vice president. Great. We're going to win this contract. So we spent a month, 2 months, whatever, 60 days writing this proposal. It was the first one I'd ever written. We were green. The company was currently bidding on some much larger programs, so they couldn't give us a lot of help with business development. It was just, we didn't have a big shop at the time. We were just standing that up. And the other thing was more important. I'll tell you this. I thought we did a pretty good proposal. And of course, 3 months later, we lost. I had to find homes for all of my employees because they were now no longer viable. And when the government realized what they'd done, which I became a pariah by senior leadership here. I was absolutely a pariah for like 6 months. So over that 6 months time, I kept talking to the clients and I kept talking to the government. I'm like, okay, so you want to get rid of all of these people? Great. We're going to lose entire 20 or 30 people. Like, well, what about these five that you can't live without? Oh, yeah, let's find another contract vehicle for them. Okay. 2 months later, how's it going? Man, we need those other five back. By the time 6 months rolled around, I had all those people back on the contracts, like working on different vehicles because they were so needed. And I never asked the government if they were happy with the work with people that they picked, but I was able to go to my leadership that I'd been a pariah of and say, look, I lost. You're right, I lost. But guess what? All these people are back working the program because they needed them so bad. So I turned it into sort of a win, but it hurt. The loss hurt because it hurt my reputation at the company.
But it really wasn't a mistake you made.
No, but that's
We'll
what I
take
got.
it. No, but what I'm saying is like it really wasn't your fault. It's not like one of our guests who deleted a whole spreadsheet that was important or something like that. So yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
you were just
yeah.
you got the blame. Yeah.
I would say when I was in my
Yeah.
younger part of my career, I had less attention to detail. But that's
course.
generally when you're a junior person, and that's why we have senior people review their products because you need attention to detail.
Yeah.
I think that's very common. We get that. Amanda and I just talked about it yesterday. So yeah.
In journalism, especially.
And
Um,
I still, when I send out an email, I have to read through it like 3 times. Like I'm
Oh, yeah.
a terrible speller and my grammar is atrocious to read through it to make sure. And the other thing is I type really fast because my brain moves faster than my hands. So I have to read it. I'm like, oh, I left this out. I left this out. I send out a weekly email to the staff and I have an editor look at it before I send it out. And like, I'd say once every 6 months, I get it perfect. And I get a little gold star.
You've got other things to worry about.
Yeah.
Time is moving
I think
quick.
Amanda and I are very detail oriented, obviously, because we're journalists. But other people are more focused on strategy, the overall picture. Amanda and I are literally focused on what's in front of it.
Words.
It's
Yeah.
words.
Yes.
So
You use the
we-
other part of the
yeah.
brain. I don't use that part of the brain.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But good thing that the world needs both types.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah. Aimee, before we let you go, we always end with a very serious question.
Oh.
Extremely serious, maybe even classified.
So as chief of staff, if you had a red phone on your desk, like in the movies, who would it call? Your CEO, the IT help desk, or just someone who brings you emergency snacks?
I love this. So, I would never call the CEO. I would guarantee you that. I'm probably more of the snack person. I'm the one answering the phone, and they're the ones calling me. I'm not calling people.
They have an Aimee button on their
Yes.
desk. Like
Literally. I kid you not. I'm here. So I'm in the office 5 days a week and everyone knows it. So they will come to me. They'll know. They'll come to me on a Friday because it's kind of a slow day if they need something from me. And they're like, hey. And I'm like, what do you need? What's wrong? How can I fix it? Like literally every meeting I'm in. Last week, this is great. This is a great one. I'm in every meeting I'm in. They'll say something like, random people in a meeting. I'm in here, I'm working, listening to stuff, and they're like, oh man, we really need that fixed. And they all look at me and I just write it down. Like last week, there's this conference room that doesn't have a flush carpet and people keep tripping over it coming into it. So 2 people tripped over it when they came into the office and they looked at me and they're like, Aimee, can you get that fixed, please? Literally, doesn't matter what it is. Random
like,
stuff.
yeah, I'll call the contractor. It's just on speed dial here.
No,
Yeah.
it's because the facilities guy works in my arena. But it's stuff like that. I could be out to a work dinner or a corporate function and we'll be having a conversation and something will come up and they'll look at me and be like, hey, you get on that. Yep, got it. Write it down. Put it on my phone.
Like Amanda said, you are the real Olivia Pope, but without the dead bodies. Or we'll actually truly
We
never
don't know.
know because you cannot tell us.
I'll never tell.
You'll never tell. Amanda, feel free to do the wrap up. Yeah.
Awesome. Aimee, this was so fun. I think I love diving into the mind of a fixer more than anything else. It's something I do not have a similar brain for, and it's fascinating. So thank you so much for sharing the kind of advice we wish someone had given us earlier in our careers or in a career like yours. Really awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you. This was fun. I love this.
So
Thanks for
fun.
having me on.
Thanks for listening to Rookies to Rockstars. GovCon doesn't come with a playbook, but these stories might be the next best thing. Follow the show, share it with someone still figuring it out, and connect with us on LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you.